So this is a game you designed?
Yep, 1984. Um, an original design as opposed to a derivative design, which was Sharpshooter. What I wanted was a game that had a lot of depth to it. And again, I guess something that's become a signature is a jet bumper down on the bottom to work as a flipper. So it's an unconventional bottom as opposed to just a wire form lane coming down, which from that era. But I wanted a game that had targets upon targets and then targets behind, which is what this has. And there's actually a story. I mean, there is a mythology of Cyclopses. They did exist. We did a nice thing, and this backlash doesn't have it, but we actually put in a bulb for the heartbeat.
Nice.
That's a heartbeat. I was very much into the overall choreography of the games that I was involved with and what I wanted to accomplish. As you play the game and as things happen, that heartbeat goes faster. So right now he's kind of like at rest. But the whole purpose was you want to complete target banks. By completing either of the target banks, that lights lock up here for 2-ball multi-ball. Pure and simple. Now, since there were a lot of games that have existed back in this era and previous to it, where once you hit down the targets, it's like, okay, I hit him down again, there's really nothing to it. I put in stand-ups behind it. If I can complete not only the drops but also the stand-ups, this will light the yellow and the blue, corresponding to the yellow and the blue. And if I can hit that target when both are lit, I go in for something that's called a monster bonus. So what I wanted was a bonus on top of a bonus. The big thing for me in game design, whether it was me or whether it's any of the games that any of the guys over the years have designed where I've kind of been called in to ask for my opinion or what have you, has been, okay, so I do this, then what happens? What's next? I've always been really concerned with what's next. The whole idea for a pinball machine is that it needs to be, I believe, an infinite experience. There's always something left to achieve. I just don't cycle back through and start all over again. So, all right, you mentioned before about Addams Family. All right, Pat and Larry are working on that. Love the mansion idea and everything else. And it's like, all right, so what happens after I tour the mansion? Well, you tour it again. Yeah. But are you going to give me like the number of rooms in my out-hole bonus? Well, we can do that. Well, no, you have to do that. Because if somebody's walking by, and this is a key thing just for me as a player, if somebody's walking by and all they see is that I have 4 rooms lit, got Mamushka, maybe I got like 6 million points, they don't know that I've already completed it. They're not looking at the score necessarily. They're looking down over here. That guy's no good. I put my coins down, and, he'll be done in a minute. Hey, I'm on a roll. I'm good. I've just done the mansion twice. So for me, there always has to be something else. One of the things I wanted to do, and I don't know if the guys put it in, you can probably tell me, or my sons can probably answer it. I wanted the values to increase each time you went through the mansion. So if it was like 500 points or 500,000 points per switch, it should be 600,000. There always has to be something incrementally. So going back to a world of more limited memory, you have your regular bonus, which in this case I think we go up to like 10 or 12. So it's 7, 8, 9, 10. So I go up to 10x here. Well, I want more. Well, my more is, all right, if I can get up to 50,000, or what is it? Yeah, 50,000 and 100, those will hold over. So I complete this, I get to, and that's there. I already have in the bank 50 for my next ball because I wanted there to be continuity from one ball to the next. I want you to have an experience where you're building up to a culmination. The same thing with Monster Bonus. So that was the idea. The gameplay unto itself doesn't change. I mean, I'm still just hitting at fixed targets. You know, I have a captive ball here where I'm going to spell out eyes, and eventually I'm going to get that to be lit for an extra ball. I mean, you can build upon particular features and particular components on the playfield, but after that, it's like, all right, so what? What do I do now or next? The spinners. Once I complete this, that light is going to change, and my value is going to change. So, I mean, that's my mentality for how I play games.
And that really did come into effect with the later like that Williams era.
Oh, games. Yeah.
When they were, I mean, definitively like infinite. I mean, those were just games that you could play. Twilight Zone.
Yep.
They were just, Star Trek. It was just, they were so rich. There was so much stuff going on that
Well,
you really.
Again, I'd like to think that part of it was with Star Trek, Steve Ritchie, with Twilight Zone, again, Pat again, where I'd go in and it would be like, all right, so after I've gotten the final frontier, what happens?
Yeah.
After I've gotten through the entire door, what happens?
That's when the other playfield comes up from the bottom.
That's right. Yep. And, my comment has always been, it doesn't matter if it never happens. The fact that it's going to be there, the fact that maybe once in a million I can achieve that, that's all I want.